Okay, we're just getting the 737 ready. So this is the new PMDG 737-900 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We're going to be trying it out this evening, taking it for a flight from Vancouver over to Calgary. I'm just going to go and plug in my Xbox controller so we can have a wander around the aeroplane and show you around it if you've not seen it before. So the 737-900 is the longer, heavier version of the 737, but it has the same wings, which does mean that it's more difficult to fly because you've got more weight, more inertia, but you've only got the same amount of lift as the smaller 737s and the same amount of power as the smaller 737s. So let's go and press Shift and actually let's go back inside for a moment, press Shift and X, and we'll hopefully get the drone camera working. There we go. And we can have a look around it. I'm just going to make this slightly less panoramic. Okay. So yeah, it's a big old heavy lump. Let's go and have a look. I don't think I've ever done this slowly with the... So this is the 2024 specific version of the 737-900. So it's quite a lot more detailed than even the 2020 version. The cockpit has been completely rebuilt. I've not really had a good look around. Well, this is the first time I've loaded it into the simulator, full disclosure. So if things go wrong this evening, it should be quite entertaining. So yeah, this is quite cool, isn't it? There's even the rubber sections around the outside of the wheel wells. Okay, I'm running Say Intentions in the background, so you are going to hear other aircraft traffic while we are taking a look around the aeroplane. So there we go, 739 ETOPS. So I've got the long-range version of the aircraft loaded in. You get several versions. That is something else, isn't it? Looks good. So I haven't changed into my pilot's uniform, as you can see from the outside view. I've still got my combat fatigues on because I was flying fighter jets the other evening. Okay, let's go and have a look around the cabin, shall we? So obviously the external sound cuts out. I think a lot of this is actually operational, so you can play with the switches and the knobs and everything. If we come down through the cabin, the seats look remarkably good, don't they? It is incredible, isn't it? The amount of detail that goes into these things. Let me just check the volume levels before we go too far this evening. So yeah, you can hear me fine, that's good. It is incredible the amount of detail that goes into modelling these aeroplanes. So if we go and zoom down to the galley at the back, even down to things like the light fittings and the handles on the cupboards and the small print on all of the stowage around the galley. It's mad, isn't it? Somebody has spent hours upon hours upon hours modelling all of this, even down to the pattern on the carpet. If you go and look at the in-flight leaflets, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, so obviously I'm in the drone camera, so I can cheat and come out through the window. So you will see the wings flexing on this aircraft. So they're fully deformable under load. So you can see there's a slight droop to them while we're sat on the runway. Interesting. So let's go and have a look inside the engine nacelles. That's incredible, isn't it? The amount of detail here. Just going to have a look over here quickly before we get going. Okay, bring the camera back around to the front, and then we'll take the aeroplane for a fly. So I have filed a flight plan. So we will be using air traffic services this evening. And I am validating the 737-900 instructions this evening. I'm debating whether to just convert the 737-800 instructions I've already written to retitle them, because the aircraft are so similar in terms of the procedures. It's just the numbers that differ in terms of, obviously, because it's a bigger, heavier plane and you need to be more careful on rotation, things like that. So Shift and X takes us inside the airplane and we'll work through this together. So I'm just popping up a browser on my second screen and opening the procedure that I'm validating while we're doing this flight this evening to see if we need a different document for this airplane or not. So it may be that I just retitle the 737-800 to 737 family because they are so similar. Okay, so Shift and 6 takes us overhead. You go and put the battery light to on and close it. Then Shift and 3 takes us over to the flight management computer. Now the stick just shook. I don't know if that's a normal part of the procedure or not. And I have set the aircraft via the PMDG setup menu to start up in a cold dark state. So if you've never done that before, that's how that is done. We're going to go to the FS Actions menu, go to Ground Services, and we're going to request ground power is connected to the airplane. So it will say connecting. If we go and look outside, you will see it is being connected. You can see the cable just appeared out of nowhere. It's now connected to the aeroplane. Okay, so Shift and 6 takes us back overhead and we can go and flick the ground power switch down. And the aircraft bursts into life. Let me just go and check the volumes. Yeah, so I think you can hear everything fine. Set our dome light as required, so Shift and 7 I think takes us overhead, so there's dome. It's a nice sunny day, we're not going to need that. So IRS, we set both of these to nav. Now I'm not sure if I have configured this in the aeroplane to go instant, so should we go and have a little look at that in the tablet? We'll go and open the tablet up, you can see the screens are booting up. If we go into the EFB page, I can't remember if you can configure the alignment speed. Actually, I think it might be in the MCDU. So I'm not going to delve into it today, but if you go into the menu page, you've got two sets of options here. So PMDG setup is the overall state of the aircraft and the equipment that's on board. So if we go and look in equipment, it's probably in here somewhere. There's 18 pages of settings. So we'll just clear the message there from Adias. But yeah, I'm not going to get into it. If it takes a few minutes, it's not going to be a problem. So we'll go back to the FMC page for the moment. So we do need to come in here actually, but not just yet. So we're going to go Shift 6 to go overhead. We're going to go and arm the emergency lights and close them. And go to the window heats and turn the left and the right window heats on and the probe heats. And then we're going to go down to program the flight computer. So we're going to do this with Simbrief just to see if it all works nicely. So first things first, we'll go Shift 9 to go over to the tablet. And we've already got the tablet running, so we can request the data from Simbrief. It's worth pointing out I had already earlier this evening gone and done the install of the nav data into the aeroplane. So that should all be there and ready to go. Oh, that's rather interesting. We can't actually click that icon from the default view. You'd think they would have caught that, wouldn't you? So we've got the flight plan into here. So then we can go Shift and 3 over to the flight management computer. We can go into POS init, go next page, pick up GPS, into the scratch pad, go previous page, drop it into set IRS, set the reference airport. We are at Vancouver, so the ICAO code is Charlie Yankee Victor Romeo. Charlie Yankee Victor Romeo into the scratch pad, drop that in. Then we can go to the route page and we can do a flight plan request, which will go to Simbrief. So it's saying invalid entry. It's quite interesting, isn't it? So what we need to do is go and populate the origin and the destination. So CYVR, and then destination will be Vancouver, which is CYYC. And then we can do the flight plan request. And it says Simbrief because I put my username into the tablet on the options page, and it's going to fetch it, or it should have done. If we go and look in legs, is it anything there? No. That's interesting. Have we just seen a bug? Go to route, flight plan request, Simbrief. So then we can say, so there's a few kinks in this, aren't there? So set payload, Simbrief payload set, clear. Then set fuel, Simbrief block fuel set, clear. And then select route. Now we can do flight plan. Oh, wait for uplink. Oh, has this differed? Nope, we're waiting for route uplink ready. There we go. So I didn't click anything there, we just had to wait. And then we can say load, route uplink loading. So wait for it to happen. There we go. So it's done its job, so we can clear the message out and we can activate the flight plan and execute. And then if we go now and have a look in the legs page, we've got the legs, but obviously we don't have the departure and the arrival yet. We'll do that next. So departure. Let's go and look at our flight plan from Simbrief. Departure runway 31, and then it's directed to DAPED. So runway 31. Execute. We're not doing a SID, remember. And then go back to departure arrival, go to the arrival into Calgary. So it's the IGVP 7 star and runway 29. So ILS runway 29 and IGVP 7. Execute. And then let's go and have a look at our route. And we go next page in here and just have a read, make sure it all looks sensible. That's all good. Go and look at the legs page and go through, see if we got a discontinuity, and of course we have, because we've got a. It's interesting it hasn't got one as a first, because we're going direct to DAPED, but I guess the simulator doesn't know any different. So then there is a discontinuity there. Let's go and see why that might be. It's here, isn't it? Oh, that's further on though. There's Zuxav. So Zugav even. So IGPEV, there must have been a NORET transition that we didn't choose. Let's go do that again. Arrival. IGPED. Norrit, there we go. Execute. So that will take it out now to Norrit. So that may well solve that for us. Let's go and have a look. Next. 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 Yeah, it solved it. Look, it goes all the way out to Texit, and then we got vectors. So we leave that in there. We don't resolve the vectors, so we're expecting to receive vectors from air traffic services when we get there. So let's go to Navigraph and put our performance data in. Flight level 390. And 0 fuel weight. Should calculate itself. Reserves. We're going to go and open the PDF to work it out. And we got final reserves plus alternate, so 2.4. And cost index is 12. And execute that. That all looks good. Okay. So if we go in here and have a look at N1 limit and takeoff and put in... Now, normally a 737 would be 5 degrees flaps. I wonder if it will let us. Yeah, it will, look. 137, 138 and 150. I don't think it's got a takeoff calculator built into the aeroplane, so we put centre of gravity in. Trim of 4.73. But Simbrief does have a takeoff calculator, so it just needs to be a little bit more this way, look. To get the little marker here to 4.7-ish. Okay, that's that done. So that's the programming of the flight done. So we can go and do a gross flight plan check if we wish to. Let's go and clear the warning out there. To do a gross flight plan check, you move this back to plan mode, if I can get the mouse to appear on it. There we go. Give this a bit more range. And then go legs page, and we can step through the route. And that all looks absolutely fine. Put this back into map mode, bring the range back down, ready for takeoff. Okay, so next thing is the mode control panel. So flight director switches need to go on. Set the initial heading to the runway direction, so we were taking off from runway 31. So we'll put 310 degrees. So 150 is kind of halfway around the compass from there, isn't it? I'm just trying to think which was the shorter route to get to it. We haven't done the initial altitude yet. So let's go and talk to clearance with say intentions. We got Vancouver International on the radio potentially. We're going to go to clearance and talk to them. Vancouver clearance, virtual 073 requesting clearance to Calgary. So the EFB apparently does have a takeoff calculator now. It didn't used to. So if we come back out... Oh yes, it's got the performance tool. Ah, so we could have done it in here.
Virtual 073, cleared to Calgary. Radar vectors DAP, then is filed. Climb 7000, expect flight level 390, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 128.175, squawk 4461, and your departure runway was changed to 08 right.
Oh, great. Okay, well it doesn't make any difference. We haven't got a standard instrument departure anyway. Radar vectors to DAP ahead, then as filed. Climb 7,000 feet. Expect flight level 390, 10 minutes after departure. Departure 128.175. Squawk 4461. Departure runway changed to 08 right. Virtual 073. So we need to go change
Virtual
our departure.
073, read back
and we
correct.
can get
Contact ground on 121.7 when ready.
We can change this then to 08 right. and we can import this from the aircraft, and then we can import the weather, and we can click calculate, and it will give us flaps 5, which is what we had anyway. The V-speeds are slightly different, so we'll probably see the performance calcs clear themselves. So if we go departures, and we're doing 08 right, and remember no SID, so execute legs, still going direct to DAPED. If we go and look in the init refs, takeoff speeds have been deleted. Takeoff, flaps are 5, and we just copied these across again. Okay, so that's all done. Okay, should we go and make this match, obviously not the Simbrief, we're not really too worried about that. I was more worried about the chart on here. So, how can we do this? Show departure procedures. Standard, no, we don't want to do that. We just want to say what runway we're taking off from. Select departure runway for Vancouver, 08 right. Okay, let's got that done. And the other end's fine. And we'll do the same on Navigraph. So remove the runway, select 08 right. For whatever reason they've done that. So there's the runway. The letters on the taxiways are often very different on LittleNavMap versus the charts. So this will be a lot better. Okay, so we're going to carry on through to getting the point where we're going to start the engines and do pushback. So we'll go and carry on around the aeroplane doing things. So mode control panel, we had already gone and set some of this, so this needs to be about 10 knots faster than your, we'll give it an extra bit as well, than your minimum speed, or your V2. 310 was correct, so what was the initial altitude again that we were cleared through to? 7,000 feet. We'll also go and set the transponder, which I'm going to try and remember where it is in this aeroplane. Here it is. We want it to be 4461. So press clear. Number one, it's on transponder mode at the moment, which is good. We can leave it on auto. We can leave this on transponder mode until we get to the runway, and then we'll go to TA. Okay. Press comma to calibrate the altimeters. That's just happened. So Shift and 6 takes us overhead, put the fasten seatbelt signs onto auto. And this is just the chime only these days. It would have been the smoking sign, so you would flick that to inform the cabin crew about things in the real world. It doesn't actually do anything anymore. So your dampers can go to on. I'm reading my instructions as I'm doing this, by the way. We can set this to our cruise altitude, so let's go and just double check 390. And then we're going to go and get the APU up and running. So aft, rear, fuel pump goes to on, and then we go and start the APU. And you'll see the needle come to life down here. The needle will go around to about 7 and then fall back to about 4. So this is the exhaust gas temperature of the auxiliary power unit. This is completely normal. When it settles back down to 4, this light will come on, meaning we can transfer electricity for the aircraft over to the APU and away from ground power. So there we go, look, it's shooting round towards 7. Just reading the live stream notes, yeah, I know there is an IRS option, I just I didn't want to go spending time digging around to find it during the stream, so there's no harm in waiting for things. By the time we've done all of this, it will have aligned anyway. There we go. So we've got APU available. We can cross-feed over to it. Having done that, that means we can go and turn the anti-collision lights on, and then go back over to the flight management computer and disconnect the ground power. So menu, FS actions, ground services, and release the ground power, please. We can also, once that's done, we can remove the chocks. Just disconnecting at the moment. And remove the chocks. That's done. So then back overhead, we're going to turn all of the fuel pumps on, ready to start the engines. Now, have we got fuel in the center tanks? We can usually see here. No, we haven't. It's such a short flight, there's no need. Okay, so shift and 6, go and put the APU bleed on. And we're ready for pushback. So let's go and have a look at where we are. We'll go and talk to ground now. So we're looking for center, ramp, radio, clearance, radio check, tower, CTAF, depth. Let's go for tower then, in the absence of... Oh no, it's 121.7. Okay, where does that correlate on here? Oh, it's ground. Oh, it's because it's red, I didn't even notice it. So let's go do that. Clear the warning. Ground, Virtual 073, requesting pushback and engine start. So I'm being asked, is this the
engine start approved?
Is this the 900? The clue's in the title of the video. So they said face east. So based on the direction we are facing right now, we want to be facing that way, because we're going to be... That makes no sense, because we're going to go for 8 right, unless they're going to... That's bizarre. Should we question it? Vancouver ground, Virtual 073. Are you sure you want us to face east? We have been told to take off from 8 right.
Virtual 073, negative, expect runway 08 right for departure, face east for pushback.
Facing east for pushback, Virtual 073. That seems a bit counterintuitive. You'd think you'd want to face west, wouldn't you? Anyway, let's go and do as they say. So do we get pushback controls in here? Ground operations. Ground maintenance, ground connections. So there's the chocks, there's the GPU, ground services. I know there are pushback controls. You can use the PMDG ones in here. And I can't remember where they are. They're somewhere in options. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look at this at some point properly. It's not going to be in FS actions, is it? Pushback, there we go. So should we try it? We want to go standard standard right. Okay, we're going to ignore their instruction because we haven't got a standard. Oh, here we go, we can do it here, look. Standard L shape, that means then. Okay, turn nose to the left to face east. 90 degrees, chocks removed. Select tug. This is rather interesting, isn't it? And start. So we get a PMDG tug, do we? Where's our special tug? Let's go and make sure we've got the parking brake off. Okay, where is our special PMDG tug? Okay, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to stop that from happening. I'm going to press Alt and P in the sim, which means the simulator will do it. And I know it'll do it badly, but... These winglets are quite fancy, aren't they? And we're being pushed. So which way is the simulator going to push? Normally it goes just backwards, doesn't it? Sometimes it does the right thing. So as far as we want to face that way, which seems counterintuitive.
Welcome aboard Flight India, November India 001 to Calgary.
So we
Our
will
flight time is approximately
press
65
Alt and P there. We've got enough room to turn now.
Pay close attention to the following safety demonstration, as it contains important
We'll put the parking brake on and we'll go start the engines.
Even frequent flyers.
So
Fasten your seat belts
all of the fuel pumps are on. Go and put the APU bleeds already on.
Pasco 457, pushback approved.
So we can rotate the ground. You can see everything's coming alive, so N2 is coming up.
And electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Laptops must be securely stowed during takeoff.
So we wait for 25%, and then we advance the fuel control lever.
Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Life vests are located under your seat. Put them on and inflate only after leaving the aircraft. Floor level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow crew instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot,
so the switch has gone back up here, so we'll go over
the safety
to
information card in your seat pocket contains further details. Thank you for your attention.
start engine number 1. Yeah, I did engage the parking brake. I did it with my physical controls though, so you didn't see me do it. So that's coming up to 25. Advance the fuel control lever.
Pasco 457, runway 13 taxi via Alpha Hotel, hold short of runway 26 left, then Hotel 4.
Runway 13 taxi via Alpha Hotel, hold short of runway 26 left, then Hotel 4, Pasco 457.
Put the anti-skid on rejected takeoff. So engines are nearly up to speed. Let's go put this back on the legs page. So that's gone back to normal now. So engines are now running. APU bleed can come off. APU can come... Oh, before we do that, nearly got that wrong. We need to transfer power generation over to the engines. So now the APU can come off.
Ready for push and start.
So taxi
Air Canada
light on,
7086 cleared to push and
APU
start.
off.
Roger, pushback approved.
We should put the logo lights on as well. I'm just reading through the instructions. So shift and 6, almost forgot. Need to go and put the hydraulic pumps on. And we've already got the transponder running, so flaps need to go to takeoff position. Let's just go over here to have a look at the flap lever as we do it. Because I haven't got a Boeing controller, I have to be a bit careful. So there's 5 degrees. We should see them. There we go. There's an analog meter on this version of the 737. You can see the flaps are in transit. It says leading edge flaps are extended, and there goes. Should we go and have a look at them outside? It's very nicely done, isn't it? So we've set flaps for takeoff. We've done auto brakes to rejected takeoff, so we can go taxi to the runway. So this is going to be fun and games now.
Air Canada 7086, runway 8 right taxi via Echo Delta Hotel Lima, hold short of runway 13, then Lima 6.
Runway 8 right taxi via Echo Delta Hotel Lima, hold short of runway 13, then Lima 6, Air Canada 7086.
They're going to tell us Juliet, aren't they? Vancouver ground, virtual 073, requesting taxi to runway 08 right.
Virtual 073, runway 08 right taxi via Juliet Alpha, Sierra, Mike, Juliet, Lima, hold short of runway 13, then Lima 6.
Taxi via Juliet Alpha, Sierra, Mike, Juliet, Lima, hold short, runway 13, then Lima 6, virtual 073. So Lima 6 is right at the far end. There were some odd instructions around here, wasn't there? So Juliet, Lima, hold short runway 13. So there's that. Okay, so it's just Lima. So along here, Juliet Alpha, Juliet, Lima. So we do a right turn. Just release the parking brakes. To release the parking brakes on the 7.3, you have to hold the toe brakes on. Are we moving?
WestJet 482 ready to taxi. WestJet 482, runway 8 right taxi via Juliet, Kilo, Victor, hold short of runway 13, then Lima, Lima 6.
Runway 8 right taxi via Juliet, Kilo, Victor, hold short of runway 13, then Lima, Lima 6, WestJet 482.
There's something wrong here. Have we got something silly like the chocks? Nope. Not any brakes on. There's something odd going on here. It's like the brakes are stuck on. I'll go and toggle the parking brakes again. So, parking brakes are off. Something stuck on, isn't there? So parking brake is off. And I have control of the rudder pedals, which you otherwise wouldn't have. There's something afoot here. Let's just go double check. It seems to be, it's either me being silly or it's a control configuration problem, probably. Let's go and have a look. So if we come back out of here and go to now I haven't calibrated it. wonder if it could be that. I don't know if you do though in the PMDGs, I'm trying to remember. That's just this simulation. PMDG. This is the strangest thing ever. Is the tug still connected? Nope. But if I cycle it, if I tell it to cancel again. Yeah, I've just told it to go away, look, and it won't go away now. There's something really strange, isn't there? I think me asking and stopping the built-in tug has messed it around. It's like it's wanting to go, yeah, the nose wheel isn't turning. Which is really odd.
Air Canada 7086, contact tower on 125.65.
Switching to tower, Air Canada 7086.
I'm just going to try things out to see if we can trigger it. Something's gone wrong, hasn't it? Let's go back into then FS actions and pushback. I think this has caused it. Chocks are removed. Let's try it again then. Just recycling the parking brake again. Yeah, that was it. Because we had a tug, that's a bug. Because we had a tug selected even though we hadn't started using it, it was locking us in position. So that's really worth knowing. I ought to let PMDG know that. Okay, there we go. That's my free bit of debugging for the day for PMDG. It was because we had a tug selected. Therefore, it was locking the airplane in place. Okay, so next left is Juliet. This is one of the AI built airports, by the way. It's not a clever one. It's not a high fidelity airport. But it's good enough. Okay, straight down here to Lima. a lot of Air Canada planes over there, as you would expect. So we do a dog leg here, right and then left. Lima is over there.
Ground, Air Canada 555, taxi to the ramp.
Air Canada 555, taxi to parking via Mike 5, Mike Tango.
Mike 5, Mike Tango, Air Canada 555.
Virtual 073, hold short of runway 13, traffic holding in position.
Holding short, runway 13, virtual 073.
Virtual 073, contact tower on 125.65 for departure clearance.
There it is. Contacting tower, 125.65, virtual 073. Tower, virtual 073, holding short runway 13 on route to 08 right for departure.
Virtual 073, Vancouver Tower, not clear what you said. Say again.
Yeah, I thought that as I said it. Tower, virtual 073, requesting cross runway 13.
Virtual 073, runway 13, cross approved.
Crossing runway 13, virtual 073. Did I not? Didn't release the parking brake. I'm good at that. Let's make sure there's nothing else coming. So we go all the way down to the end. Did we put the taxi light on? Yes, we did. That's something else I'm good at. So which do I think is the best airport to download from the internet? That's a really tough question.
Air Canada 305, contact ground on 121.7. Ground Air Canada 305.
Depends how much you want to murder your computer. There are some very good airports that are built into the simulator. Stansted Airport is very good, and it's built in. Heathrow Airport is very good, and it's built in. Frankfurt Airport is very good, and it's built in. If you're looking for a smaller airport, Innsbruck is very good, and it's built in. So there are a number of airports around the place that Microsoft have licensed third-party high-fidelity versions of the airports. They appear as highlighted icons when you're in the world map. Vancouver Tower, virtual 073, holding short, runway 8 right.
Virtual 073, runway 08 right, winds 340 at 4, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 08 right, virtual 073. So just put the strobes and the landing lights on. And we'll straighten up and then just check my checklist to see what I've forgotten. Because I usually forget something or other. TCAS can go to TA mode. We compress traffic to turn the radius rings on. Done the landing lights. So yeah, we're ready to go. So I'm going to, normally you'd press the toga button on the throttle. I'm just going to push the throttles forwards. I want to test it, to be honest, to see if they'll let me go beyond 100%, and they will. So I'm going to pull them back a bit.
knots.
Going to arm the auto throttle. Coming up to the rotate point.
Reporting.
So gently does it because this is big and long and heavy. We're in the air.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Oh, we can't do it with the normal controller because it's a 3-position switch. Ooh, look at that. There we go.
Virtual 073, contact departure on 126.125.
Contacting departure 126.125, Virtual 073, good day. Vancouver departure, Virtual 073 with you, climbing to 7,000 feet. So let's keep an eye on the airspeed. Get ready to lift the flaps up, which we're going to do now. So we should go out to 250 knots with the flaps up, hopefully. Flaps are in transit. The rejected takeoff brakes can come off. The gear switch can go to its middle position. And we are climbing out. Did they acknowledge us? Thank you for departure, Virtual 07 with you, climbing to 7,000 feet. Vancouver departures, Virtual 073, climbing to 7,000 feet. Are they going to acknowledge us this time?
Virtual 073, Vancouver departure, radar contact, climb 10,000 vectors to DAPT, then on course.
Climb to 10,000 feet, then direct to DAPT, and then on course, Virtual 073. I'm going to turn the head tracking off for a bit. It's drifting. And should we see what the maps look like while we're doing this? EFB. There we go. Lovely little flight
Virtual
map.
073, direct DAPT, then is filed, please.
Yeah, direct DAPT, then as filed, Virtual 073. Why is it not showing us? Oh, it is. It's just that we're hidden underneath the label down there.
Virtual 073, climb flight level 260.
Climbing flight level 260, Virtual 073. Way up. I broadcast that then. That's funny. 260. So we've got that as the target. It's in VNav mode and LNav mode. Auto throttles are on. You can see them waving around. They're doing their job. Flaps are up. We're coming up through 10,000 feet, so landing lights can come off. We're on our way. Oh, which do I think is the most advanced airport? Oh crikey, there was one I did a review of for Any Builds. They sent me an advanced copy of it. I think it might have been Dubai, where you're walking around inside of it. And it had all like the passenger sounds and everything inside the concourses. It was incredible.
Lavatories are now available. You may use approved electronic devices in flight mode. Cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for your attention.
Let's put this back on legs, put it on the other side onto progress mode. Oh, you have to go into FMC first, don't you? Progress, there we go. And it's holding at 10,000. That's not constraint, is it? Let's do level change to get that. Okay, that's all looking good. Let's increase the range on the navigation display now. Cabin altitude warning.
Virtual 073, climb flight level 280.
Oh, did I not do the packs? I didn't, did I? That'd be why. I missed it while I was talking. They're on my checklist. Climbing flight level 280, virtual 073. This is always the problem. I get talking while I'm showing people things and looking at the live stream comments, and I miss stuff. So you can see we've got a cabin altitude warning. Can we increase the rate on it? I'm not sure that we can. It should catch up. We could put it on high, I suppose. So you should find the light will go out fairly quickly. Yeah, it serves me right for not following my own notes. Packs are right there in the notes. It's funny, somebody said to me the other day, why do you have written procedures? And I said, well, because I can't remember. And trying to remember is a dangerous game.
Vancouver Center on 133.7.
Contacting Vancouver Center 133.7. Good day. Vancouver Center, virtual 073 with you, climbing to flight level 280.
Virtual 073, Vancouver Center identified. Good afternoon.
Okay. Let's have a little look on a LittleNavMap and see where we are on the route. So we're on our way out towards Daped, and then we zoom along. So this is predicting we get to 390, a little way after Petley. Just coming up through 18,000 feet, so we are in to go and change the barometric pressure.
Virtual 073, climb flight level 360.
Oh, was that synchronized? Looks like it was. Climbing flight level 370, virtual 073.
Pasco 1414, descend and maintain altitude 11,000 feet, altimeter 3003.
Down to 11,000, Pasco 1414.
So let's just go double check that on here. So That's the start. Yeah, transitions 180 over this part of Canada as well then. So when we come in to Calgary, this is where we have the vectors, by the way. So we're coming in runway, see, that says 29 not used. We'll find out what happens when we get there then. That might be wrong. So we'll just figure it out when we get there. Probably be given late instructions by air traffic services. So I think somebody pointed out the packs at the same time as I was dealing with it. It's the easiest mistake to make when you're busy talking and reading and trying to multitask. I'm terrible at multitasking. There we go, there's our little aeroplane flying along. I wonder if we'll have to put any anti-ice things on. To be honest, once you get to high enough altitude, cold doesn't make any difference because it's too cold for the water to form moisture to
Virtual 073,
adhere
climb
itself.
flight level 390.
Climbing flight level 390, virtual 073. So there's our cruise altitude right there, so we've been cleared up to it. We're in level change, not VNAV, so we're going up pretty rapidly, so we're going to get there a lot earlier than if we'd been using VNAV. That might cause us a problem in terms of fuel later, we will find out. Should we draw a circle around the destination? Let's increase the range. So if we put a circle 100 miles out from our destination, so if you go and look on the map, we're heading towards, it doesn't even appear on here, look. It's interesting how different aircraft behave in different ways in terms of the legs. We're heading towards CYYC, which is Calgary. So if we go into fixes and we put in CYYC and we put in /100, we've now got a dotted circle, 100-mile radius around Calgary. So, should we have a look at this lovely aeroplane from outside? Look at the wings wobbling. Look at the flex on that wing. So this is one of the things that PMDG were talking about in the documentation for it, is the rigid body simulation that they're doing. It's lovely and smooth, isn't it? Wobbling around. So does it look appreciably longer? I guess it does, doesn't it? Especially towards the back half. It's got the same wings as the smaller 7.3s. which is why it's that bit more difficult. So margins will be narrower on approach and landing.
Vancouver Center, Westjet 449er, flight level 360.
And the light has now gone out on the cabin,
Westjet
so
449er,
we'll
radar
come back up
contact.
here, put this back on auto, after our bit of a PAX disaster where we forgot to turn them on. I'm sure the cabin aren't too happy about that. Half of them are probably a bit drowsy. Look at that. We're pushing it, aren't we? The aircraft is really pushing it on the climb. In fact, it's going too slowly, that's why. Because we're on level change, I hadn't increased the speed. That's my bad. So while we were busy looking around outside, we were courting disaster. So what's happened there, look, we're favouring getting to speed, which is good that I noticed it in time. Because we're going level change, you have it goes to a target airspeed. It's not like VNAV. If we press VNAV, it will go and target, yeah, so about 270 to 280 knots. About Mach 0.8 it will cruise at, I would have thought. Which takes us out to the target area where it was going to get to top of climb anyway. It's good to show that, actually. I saw somebody have a disaster with one of these a while ago, with one of the realistic aircraft. I think it was an Airbus, not a Boeing, but they climbed on vertical speed, I think. And they hit the floor on this. If I'd gone through into that area, I would have hit the floor on the airspeed, and the autopilot would have stopped. And yeah, you can imagine the cascading problems that's going to cause.
Virtual 073, can you please expedite your climb to flight level 390?
Climbing 390 as quickly as we can, Virtual 073. Well, actually not, because we could go level change. And again, that was all caused because I forgot to, when we went to level change, I forgot to set the airspeed. So what it will do is get to the indicated airspeed, and then it will turn the excess thrust into climb rate. Not that there is much excess thrust at this altitude, but there we go. Nearly there. It's going to take until we get to top of descent to get to top of climb, isn't it? Straight up and straight back down again. Should we let the passengers have a wander around? Although we've got it on automatic, haven't we? So the crew should do that automatically when we get to 390, which won't take long now. You'll see the climb rate increase. If you keep an eye on this. So watch the climb rate when this reaches target airspeed. And there it goes. 500 feet a minute. 600 feet a minute, and look at the green banana coming back in towards us. 1,000 feet a minute. That's a pretty good climb rate, isn't it, at this altitude for a big heavy lump like this aeroplane. We're whistling up, look. 1,500 feet a minute, that's impressive. 1,700 feet a minute, oh my word. Oh, it's not quite able to hold it. Got a 60 knot wind from the from about our 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock position. Let's reduce the range on the navigation display. So now we know we're happy with that. We can actually go out here and sit out and gaze at the lovely aeroplane again.
SkyWest 3436, contact Seattle Center on 134.905.
134.905 for SkyWest 3436, good day.
Did I forget to load the passengers? Nope, this got the passengers on board. How many have we actually got? Should we go and have a look at the Simbrief flight plan? Where does it tell you on this? 121, which is not a lot. But that was super impressive, wasn't it? That climb it did.
Virtual 073, expect the IGVF-7 arrival, NORAD transition. In about 20 minutes, I'll start your descent.
Expecting the IGVF-7 arrival. We'll let you know when we're ready to descend, Virtual 073.
Virtual 073, descend via IGVF-7 NORAD transition into Calgary, altimeter 3012.
We'll descend via the IGVF-7 and NORAD transition into Calgary, Virtual 073. But not yet. Okay, we're approaching cruise altitude finally, 3900. And there it goes, look, it's just maintaining speed now. So it's got rid of the excess thrust and engines are being wound back. Usually it's about 84 to 85% in the smaller 7.3s, but again it's dependent on wind and all sorts of things. Should we put the head tracking on? Should we have a talk to Amanda? Hi Amanda, how you doing? She takes a second to reply.
I'm doing well, Jonathan. Let's keep focused on the flight.
I think she knew I was going to tell her a joke or something. I heard a very good joke earlier, but I can't repeat it on the channel because I'll get into trouble. Which is a shame. I have a very silly joke for everybody. What do you call a judge with no thumbs? Justice fingers. I'm not going to laugh at my own joke.
Would you like anything to drink or a small snack, Captain? I promise the catering is better than last time.
Oh, some coffee would be wonderful.
I will provide coffee when I come around with the snack cart, Captain.
And on that note, I'm going to go and make myself a quick coffee while we are en route. Amanda, can you take over radio communications for a few minutes?
Sure, Jonathan. I'll handle the radios.
Right, I'm back. Did I miss much? Let's go and have a look at the radio transcript. No. Hi Amanda, I'll take over radio communications now.
Sure, Jonathan. You can take over the radio communications now.
So let's go review what they said. Expecting the IGVEP 7 arrival. So let's go and check that's what we've got. IGVEP
Virtual
7.
073, contact Vancouver Center on 134.2.
Contacting Vancouver Center 134.2, virtual 073, good day. Vancouver Center, virtual 073 with you, flight level 390 en route to Calgary.
Virtual 073, Vancouver Center identified. Good afternoon.
So we will begin our descent shortly before top of descent to give ourselves some wiggle room. Got about 60 miles to go until we descend, or 50 miles I guess. So we'll be doing a VNAV descent following the numbers unless instructed otherwise. We'll be reducing the range, don't worry, so it won't be so cluttered as we get closer. Let's put this back on the legs page while we're en route. So while we're flying along, we can have a play with the drone camera. I ought to do this more often. It's interesting how they have these fins underneath, isn't it? I wonder what they do. Are they part of the air data computer, do you think? Measuring the yaw angle. There's the beacon. Being reliably informed that the fins are antennas. That would make sense, wouldn't it? That they have to put them inside aerodynamic shapes to protect them. And as you say, there are more fins along the top, or more antennas. Wondering about the slightly ropey camera work. The aeroplane's moving up and down. Okay, I better go and get on with this descent, didn't I? So, let's go and tell the tower, or not tower, we're talking to Vancouver Centre at the moment, so we're going to tell them we are going to be descending on the IGVEP 7 with the Norrit transition. Vancouver Centre, Virtual 073, beginning descent on the IGVEP 7 with the Norrit transition into Calgary.
1073, descend to 8000, continue IGVEP 7 arrival, NORAD transition into Calgary.
Descending 8,000 feet on the IGVEP 7 arrival with the NORAD transition, virtual 073. He did say 8,000, didn't he? Yeah. So we just say VNAV. And the airplane will take care of everything according to the constraints and planned speeds and altitudes in the flight plan. And as you can see, it's not wanting to do anything yet because it hasn't got to top of descent. We will be ready on the spoilers. Look how narrow our envelope is to fly at this altitude with this weight of aeroplane with these size of wings. We've got 10 knots either way. 10 knots faster, we're stalling. 10 knots slower, we're going into the floor of the where the autopilot won't help us. I mean, okay, we are quite high, we're at 39, but even so. I'll just choke on my coffee here. Okay, so good heads up on the live stream comments. Landing elevation 3,600 feet. So obviously this allows the onboard environmental control system to change the pressure in the cabin. And we get descending, look.
Stow your tables and fasten your seat belts. The use of lavatories is no longer permitted. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, so you see the airspeed is armed as well. So you'll see the throttles are wound right back at the moment. Not as far back as they could be. So we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll also keep an eye on this.
457, direct loc and clear for the RNAV-C, runway 16 approach. Descend and maintain altitude 9 or 100 feet until established.
This is our vertical position relative to the profile. We're slightly below it at the moment. It's not an exact science. The airplane will wobble around on it. So if you're ever wondering, RNP is required navigation performance and ANP is actual navigation performance. So let's go and bring the range down so it's not quite as cluttered. He says famous last words, so we bring it down a bit more. So what we're interested in is keeping, you can see this is also shown here. We're interested in keeping it in the middle. If it's way above us, it means we're below the descent profile that's mapped out by the speeds and altitudes. And if we are above it, then we are not keeping up with it, so we throw the spoilers out to help the aeroplane come down. And you'll often, I'm not sure if it does in the 7.3 series, you'll often see a retard warning where, you know, the aeroplane is wanting you to help it. I wonder if we can have some weather radar working. And terrain radar. It says in-op though, doesn't it? Or is that just the VOR2 is in-op? No, terrain radar works. Hurrah! That's pretty cool, isn't it? Looks like a 1980s video game.
Virtual 073, contact Edmonton Center on 133.75.
Contacting Edmonton Center 133.75, Virtual 073, good day. Edmonton Center, Virtual 073, descending on the IGVEP arrival with the NORET transition into Calgary.
Virtual 073, Edmonton Center, identified. Good afternoon.
It's rather pedestrian at the moment, isn't it? We will get vectors at the end though, remember? So it'll become good fun towards the end. Should we go and program the ILS for... Well, not sure which runway we will get, are we? Although if this is true, and we're doing the NORET, yeah, so the NORET transition, and this is IGVEP 7, so it probably is going to be runway 29. So let's prepare for it anyway. So 110.9, 285 degrees. So we want to change the mode. And we want 110.9, 11090. Switch that to active. And we want that to be ILS 110.9. Switch that to active, and we set the courses to, what did we say? 285 degrees. So that's this way round to get the closest, only just though. Another 15 degrees, and it would have been the other way. Oh no, sorry, what am I talking about? 285 is only 95 degrees. There we go. So the landing system should be ready to go when we get near enough. Coming now to 25,000 feet. Profile is still looking good. So Andrew is asking in the live stream, is the pushback still not working? Well, I tried it. I wasn't very patient, to be honest. I went into the menu button and I went to FS Actions and pushback. Obviously we can't do it while we're in flight. and I selected a pushback device or hardware, and it locked on, so I couldn't actually move the aeroplane while I had selected a device. I had to go and say none even though I wasn't using it. So there's a little bit of a not intuitive interface there. So as we come down, we get to see some lovely mountains around us. So, are we going to get any risk of icing? And just before we even get any risk of icing, let's go and have a look at the controls overhead to see how we deal with that.
Edmonton Center, Encore 3112, flight level 250.
So you've got wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice. Probe heats are on, window heats are on. So we're looking okay. So we just have to come up here if it becomes an issue. So the lights here indicate if they're on or not, I guess. Yeah. But we won't react too quickly to that. We'll wait and see what happens. It's just I can see this bank of ominous looking freezing cold cloud in front of us. I think the aeroplane will tell us. Aha! We have somebody from Calgary that's local
Edmonton
saying
Center,
it's fine.
WestJet 401, flight level 180.
But at altitude could still be
WestJet 401, radar contact.
Quite cold. So I'm guessing everybody in Canada is going to be glued to the TV over the next couple of weeks watching the Winter Olympics. I certainly will be. I'm rubbish at skating, but I love watching ice hockey.
Encore 3112, descend and maintain flight level 180. Cleared for the IGVEP 7 arrival into Calgary.
So I didn't actually put it onto...
Descending to flight level 180. Cleared for the IGVEP 7 arrival into Calgary, Encore 3112.
I didn't put it onto TARA earlier, did I? I've just done it. We were on TA only so far. Even though it would make more sense to go to
Virtual
TA.
073, contact Calgary approach on 125.9er.
Contacting Calgary approach 125.9er, virtual 073, good day. Let's get the thing up so I can tell them accurately what we're doing. Calgary approach, virtual 073 with you on the IGVEP 7 arrival with the Norret transition into Calgary, descending to 8,000 feet.
Virtual 073, Calgary approach identified. Good afternoon, Calgary altimeter 2980. Expect the ILS runway 29er approach into Calgary.
Expecting ILS 29er approach into Calgary, virtual 073. Cool, so we were right. 285 degrees is runway 29er. And we will be going for vectors when we get to the end of the arrival. It's a really good question from Andrew on the live stream. TCAS does the TCAS take over, or does it take avoiding action in the Boeings? Let's go find out. No. The Boeing 737 does not take automatic avoiding action. Unlike some modern Airbus aircraft, the 737 is designed so the pilot must fly the maneuver manually. So it's just going to make a lot of noise. So if you think about the plan down here, if an aeroplane comes within that area, we're going to hear about it. Or should I say, within that area in a similar altitude realm to us. So you can see here's the plan coming in. We're still on the profile. It's all looking good. We're away from the mountains now, so we may as well go and turn terrain mode off. I've got hiccups now. We're going slowly below. Below the profile isn't too bad because the aeroplane can just pitch up to get it back. If we get above the profile, that's when you have to start being concerned that the aeroplane can't get back to it. So we should see 25 miles out in front of us, there is the airport. We can't quite see it yet. I'm still coughing from drinking that coffee down the wrong way earlier. So the oral warning from TCAS, it will start shouting at you either climb, climb or descend, descend. And then when it's doing it, the red no-fly and green safe zones appear on the vertical speed indicator. So it will tell you where to go basically. So the pilot flying, the PF must immediately disconnect the autopilot and manually fly the aircraft so the vertical speed needle stays within the green zone. The pilot will also usually disconnect or override the auto throttle to ensure they have enough power for a climb or enough idle thrust for a descent. So, you know, to give themselves a fast enough reaction on the engines.
WestJet 1469, contact Calgary Tower on 118.4.
Okay, let's bring
WestJet 1469.
So there's the 8,000 feet target look at Avtis. Let's go and have a quick look at the chart. So 8,000 feet is what we're aiming for. So that's what VNAV will be aiming for as well. So we should just be coming down through 9,000. We're a little bit behind actually. And then max 210 knots when we go through Texit. So we'll keep an eye on that. Has it got it on here? Yes, it has, look. So 8,000 feet for Avtis, 210 knots, 7,000 feet at Texit. So let's go and target 7,000.
Flare 9er contact Calgary Tower on 118.4. Over to Calgary Tower on 118.4, Flare 9er 43.
So we should have gone back to local barometric pressure as well, by the way. That's my bad.
Please turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Ensure your tray
and
tables are stowed
I forgot
in
it's
the
the same both sides, isn't it? Let's go double check that. So information, open airport, weather, 1011 or in inches, are they not 2977? That's 1011. We're in hectopascals in here at the moment. We could switch it over. There we go, done.
Air Canada 585,
so there's Calgary.
Contact Calgary Tower on 118.4.
118.4 for Air Canada 585.
So we should be turning right in a moment. We're coming down towards 8,000 feet, which is perfect. We're going to help the airplane slow down because we're a big heavy lump. It's trying to get to 240 knots and not getting there, so I've thrown out the spoilers. They're making a good noise, aren't they? So you can see speed brake is armed. Should we go and have a look at them outside? And there they are. Notice on doing a right turn, it closed the left speed brake to allow the aeroplane to rotate around the right wing more easily. That was awesome. So it should continue on down to 7,000 feet, and it looks like it's levelling at 8. Let's go and cycle it. Should be hitting 7,000 feet at Texit. It's only 9 miles away. I was doing it. And that's telling us we're within 1,000 feet of our, or within 900 feet, I should say, of our target. So when we get to Texit, we'll request vectors. So let's bring the heading bug round to the direction we're going. There's no shortcut to do that, is there? We'll go this way, be quicker. We want this going the same direction as us, because we're going to go selected heading mode when we get vectors. And at some point, we'll go direct Henry, but we need to get vectors first. So we're at 210 knots. We can go... Yeah, we can't go that far on the flaps yet. You see flaps are in transit. Leading edge are coming out as well. We're below 10,000 feet as well, so we should have had the landing lights on by now. What does it look like with the... Scenery's lovely, isn't it? It looks like an oil painting out there. There's Calgary behind us. There's the airport.
Virtual 073, turn right heading 120 vectors for the ILS runway 29er approach.
Turning right to 120 vectors for the 29 ILS approach, Virtual 073. It's interesting they're turning us away from the runway, presumably to give us room to turn in. So we've slowed down again so we can go for the next stage of flaps. So going for 10. Just going to have a look. Wings look amazing, don't they? Like a piece of artwork. It's funny, the things I've done a little bit late on the approach, I keep looking over and looking at the the live stream comments a minute or two later and realising everybody was telling me to do it as I was doing it. It's quite amusing. We're all on the same page as each other. I was a little bit late because obviously I'm busy chattering and not really focusing as much as I really should. It's funny, I had a retired airline captain message me and he said, yeah, don't get too tied up on hitting the lights at the right times. He said it's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. Nobody's going to write you up for not having your lights on at the right altitude. He said that's very much a video game thing. They obviously do follow the procedures, but they're not stickling for it, you know, to have them on at exactly the moment they pass through 10,000 feet, for example. They didn't tell us to descend, did they? No, not yet. Well, if the ground's at 3,600 feet, we are only 3,400 feet.
Maintain altitude 7,000 feet. Turn left heading 015.
Turning left heading 015, virtual 073. So here we go. They're turning us in on the box shape to bring us in. Whoops. 015. We could increase the turn. Oh no, I've got it on maximum turn rate already, I think. Or have I? I think you have to actually click that. I'm not going to try it because I'd have to jump around the cockpit to do it. There we go. So we can increase our turn rate slightly. Give ourselves more time. So yeah, they're turning the box and then they'll turn left again in a moment. They'll probably say go direct Henry. Yeah. Notice how this gap is getting narrow, and it will get worse. Can we go direct Henry yet? Please. Get ready on the heading knob. Today would be good. What are they doing to us? Oh, we didn't hear that instruction, did we? Oh my word. It's fine because we got miles. We're miles out, so not a problem. There was an instruction there that we never saw, and they didn't read. Good job I checked, really. So Henry's going to drop. Oh, sorry, at Pibmu it's going to drop to 150 knots. But Pibmu is on finals almost, isn't it? Let's go and have a quick look at that. So we're coming in towards Henry. 110.9, that's exactly what we got, 285 degrees. And there's Pibmu, which is 5 miles out. So,
Anchor 3112, contact Calgary Tower on 118.4.
Can't see the glide slope yet.
Anchor 3112.
And of course this isn't in lateral navigation mode, which is why it's not following the plan. It's a comedy of errors this evening, oh well. And I didn't turn down the bank rate, so it's really cranking the turns, isn't it? At least we're trying the aeroplane out, hey. Thankfully they flew us so far away from the airfield, we've got all the time in the world to set up. So we're 3,000 feet basically above the ground, or 2,900 feet. Usually at 8 miles out you're looking for 2,800 or 2,500 feet, isn't it, on a 3-degree glide slope. So we're okay. Let's bring the flaps in another stage. It doesn't like that, look, that we haven't got the gear down. So we're going to go and do that. Turn the nose wheel on as well, the light on it. Oh, I thought it might have one. Maybe it needs nose on, weight on the wheel to light up. See, we're still quite a way out. There's the runway. Panicking over nothing, really. Still 15 miles away. And we are engaged. We can see the glide slope.
Departure Foxtrot Echo November 2000 for 4,000.
Foxtrot Echo November, radar contact, climb and maintain 7,000.
Foxtrot Echo November.
We can see the localizer as well.
Calgary Tower on 118.4.
Contacting Calgary Tower 118.4 virtual 073, good day. Calgary Tower virtual 073 with you, engaged on the localizer for runway 28. Is it runway 29? I can't remember the name. 285 degrees, I think it was runway 29, wasn't it? It was labelled as. They'll know what I mean. Okay, so we're still in natural navigation mode, but we're not in approach mode yet. So let's go approach mode. And you can see the airplane's lining itself up. There's the runway.
Sierra Bravo X-ray, hold short of runway 17 right.
You can see the glide slope is sliding towards us.
17
So,
holding short, Sierra Bravo
I
X-ray.
don't want to let this do it itself. I want to get some experience of flying the airplane. So I'm going to go and turn the autopilot off. And I might have to have the yoke in view to do this. Has it got an autopilot disengage button? Yes, it does. I don't know if I need to press it on this. Also, I'd like to do the auto throttle as well. So let's turn that off. We'll get a warning. We can turn that off as well.
WestJet 123.
Okay, so it's now me flying, just to prove it. Look at the adverse yaw kicking the nose around.
Winds calm. Runway 29er cleared to land.
Winds calm, runway 29er cleared to land at virtual 073.
Hold short of 17 right, Sierra Bravo X-ray.
So gear is down, going for full flaps now, reducing speed. So just keep an eye on the glide slope and the localizer and the speed, and bring it in by hand. Should we put the head tracking on as well?
WestJet 123.
Then we get to look around as we're coming in, enjoy the scenery a little bit more.
Sierra Bravo X-ray, hold short of runway 17 right. Hold short of 17 right, Sierra Bravo X-ray.
Let's go over to the left a little bit. Look at it dropping. So I'm putting some more power in. We're getting quite a hefty alpha angle as we get slower. That's interesting.
Holding short, WestJet 123.
So headwind 27 knots, the slight crosswind component, not too much though. Back on the glide slope. I'm quite wary of slowing down because of the amount it started to drop.
Short of runway 17 right.
And again, that's a function of the 737-900 being quite big and heavy for the same size wings as its smaller relatives. The wind is doing its best to push us off to the right.
Short of 29er, WestJet 123.
Sierra Bravo X-ray, hold short of runway 17 right.
So the Pappies appear to agree with the glide slope most of the time.
$300. 200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Short of 29er, WestJet 123.
There we go, we're down. Reverses. I presume we turn off to the right.
Virtual 073, contact ground on 121.9er.
Contacting ground 121.9 at virtual 073.
Sierra Bravo X-ray, hold short of runway 17 right. 17R, holding short Sierra Bravo X-ray.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Calgary. Did you know that Calgary is home to the famous Calgary Stampede, known as the greatest outdoor show on Earth? Thank you for flying with us today. Please remain seated until we reach our Specification. On behalf of Captain Jonathan, First Officer, and the entire crew.
Calgary ground, virtual 073, requesting taxi to gates, please.
For those with connections, please note the following. Flight 250 to Toronto departs at 5:15 p.m. from gate 22.
Virtual 073, taxi to domestic gate 39er via Juliet, hold short of runway 17 right, then golf. Good day.
Taxi via Juliet, hold short runway 17 right, then golf. Good day. Juliet, hold short here, then golf. Domestic gate 39. That doesn't make much sense. Golf is here. I see what he means. So, yeah, next right, and then hold short over here.
WestJet 530, request push and start clearance.
WestJet 530, pushback approved.
That should be on.
Pushback approved. WestJet
That should be back
530.
to steady. Why is that aeroplane higher than the others? There's got to be a joke there about higher purchase, isn't there? That's a very silly pet shop joke wrapped around that, if you ever wondered.
Virtual 073, hold short of runway 17 right, 73 max on the runway.
Holding short 17 right, virtual 073.
Virtual 073, contact tower on 118.4 for further instructions. Virtual 073, cross runway 17 right.
Crossing 17 right, virtual 073. We just have to have a standoff with this hero in his own lunchtime.
Virtual 073, cross runway 17 right approved.
Cross 17 right approved, virtual 073. Oh, there's another aeroplane at a funny altitude. What's going on today? We have to go along Gulf, don't we? I'm not going to be too precious about picking exactly the right gate, because I haven't got a high fidelity airport anyway.
Delta 8847, contact tower on 118.4. Over to tower, Delta 8847.
I'm presuming this is, the next one is Golf, isn't it? There's an Air Canada Airbus of some description. And another one. And a levitating, I'm not sure what that is over there. Should we come in here? Because we can. Again, like I said, it's not a high fidelity version of the airport, so the gates aren't going to match perfectly. Okay, so we are on the blocks, and we should be able to then go and request ground power. So if we go menu, AFS actions, ground services, request ground power, get the chocks put in place. Just wait for that to happen. We'll turn the taxi light off. Logo light off. Position lights off. Anti-collision off. What we're waiting for. I thought I did it. Connecting. There we go. Just waiting for it to say release. There we go. And go back overhead. Bus transfer. So we're going to go over to ground power and then we can shut the engines down. Having done that, we can go and turn the seatbelt signs off. Fuel pumps off. Fuel damper off. Packs off. Emergency lights off. Adios off. And we're more or less there. That's all good. APU is off. Pumps off. Turn the electric hydraulic pumps off. Turn the window heats off. Probe heats off. And I think that's how we discovered the aeroplane. That's its version of cold and dark, which isn't entirely cold and dark, but it's good enough. So if we really want to go and switch everything off, we can. We can go back off the ground power, and then we can go and turn the electric off completely. And we're cold and dark. This has its own power supply, which is why it holds on to power for a few seconds. Okay, there we go. So that was the 737-900. As I said, I think I'm going to convert the existing procedure I had to just be the 737 family. I don't think it's fair to have a different procedure for an aeroplane where the only difference is the V speeds are going to be different, or the flap speeds are going to be different. Yeah, it's good though, isn't it? It's really nice and smooth. So PMDG's aeroplanes are always very, very kind on frame rate. They really know what they're doing. I know people complain about them being slow to release things, but they tend to not have too many bugs. We saw that little bug with the pushback, but that's the only thing I saw at all that was even slightly, strange. Everything else was really, really good. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully you enjoyed that if you've been following along. I kind of winged it a little bit with the landing. I came in manually on purpose just to see what would happen. And at 100 feet we came back to idle. I came in a little bit quick, if anything. But then we saw that I kind of scared myself on approach where I got quite slow and it started to sink. So I sped up another 10 knots or so just to look after that. But yeah, it was a good learning exercise really, just to get our heads around how the aeroplane behaves and flying it from A to B really. Okay, I'm going to leave it there then. See you again soon. Take care.